All right, it's about 9:30. Last time at the track, Willis blowed up his 455. It had a little tick in it, but when you revved it up, the tick went away. So I thought maybe it was just a lifter not wanting to pump up. And then when you revved it up, it pumped it up. But something bad has happened. He went down the track and it let loose, and it let out a big smoke screen come out of the back of it. And the oil's full of water now. But we're gonna dig into this thing and see. But that's the original motor that came in it, the 350. And it runs. It's a good motor. We're just gonna put that in there for now. It don't have as much power, of course, as a 455, but we got TJ and Danny and Willis under the car there. It looks like this motor would be pretty easy. The exhaust bolts from the bottom. I've never worked on Pontiac stuff. Yeah, we're gonna get her pulled out of here and see what's wrong with it. We'll just undo the exhaust, the torque converter bolts, the bell housing bolts. Take the distributor out, take the carburetor out, and take the fan shroud and radiator out. We already took the hood off, and he's got one of them carburetor plates that you pull the motor out with. I need to get me one of those. But once we get the radiator and the fan, you got to take the fan out to get the radiator out because the shroud don't like to come out. But yeah, we'll get this thing out and we'll see what happened. Like I said, it had a little tick at idle. You revved it up, it went away. And he made a few passes and the car kept running the same time. And then all of a sudden, poof, because the oil is full of water, or was. He drained it out. But and he did pull one plug, and the gap on the spark plug was completely closed. And of course, the rest of them were full of oil and water. But we'll get this thing out and see what the damage is. We got her licked.
You remember the one that got the car that I told you it looked like when he drives his car and Marshall drives his son's car, it looks like they're smoking the Bandit.
We got the accessories off, the radiator, the shroud, the fan.
Who's this we? We talking
we
about?
We
I don't know how tight to hit them, bro.
That's fine. All I really did was take part of the carburetor off.
You're a big photographer.
Yeah. But yeah, we're going to pull the distributor out, and we're going to take the motor mount bolts out, torque converter bolts out, and bell housing bolts for the transmission. And it should just about be ready to pull on out of here. You believe the biggest thing that fought us was that bolt on the alternator? We had to cut the wires. And then he was wanting to put his good pump on this motor. And where these ain't been out since 1977, they broke. So we're trying to weld some nuts on it. But Danny's got the torque converter bolts out, and he's got the motor mount bolts out. I guess just the transmission bolts, right?
Yeah.
I ain't really done nothing.
Until we put a jack or something underneath that transmission.
Yeah. All right, TJ welded some bolts on there, and they came right off.
Come on.
Right in there. I don't know where the other one went. I stepped on one and burned a hole in my shoe. We got Willis up here taking out transmission bolts. I think that's about it. Danny took the starter off. I think he took the torque converter bolts out. We take that Willis gets those out, and Danny's working under the bottom there. I'm doing a little bit of nothing. I'm cheerleading.
I'm kind of
cheerleading. We about got her out. They about got her out. I went and got the welder.
little ditty.
Little ditty.
Well, we're about 2 hours in. It's ready to come out. We just got to get the cherry picker out of the vehicle.
I would like us finishing up, boys.
And then we got to throw the other one back in there. Change the intake. He's going to put that Edelbrock intake on it. We took the intake off that one. And the water pump. We're gonna change the water pump.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd go ahead and throw the water pump on.
Here, I'll grab.
Up and away. She's about to come out. Well, these dents down here ain't a good sign, I tell you that.
She's done.
Yeah, it's all dented up through here.
This is a ring.
And that's the cylinder. And there's something up in it.
Give me that magnet.
There's gonna be chunks of metal.
I don't know if y'all can see it or not. There's a piece of piston ring up in there. Well, we took the valley tray out of it. And look what we found.
Look here. Look.
Aluminum. Yeah, boys, look at that. Look down there.
Yeah.
See that? Oh, I'm sorry. Now look at the bottom of that piston. See it?
Knocked the skirt off, look like.
Yep. There's piston
So far.
material. Looks like it got the cam a little bit. A few spots.
There's a bad spot on cam.
But yeah. I'm assuming that this piston came apart and maybe even... No, it's probably this one and this one.
What's this on the other
I
side
think
look
both
like?
of them did.
What's that other side look like? Shit. I mean, it run its numbers.
It ran, yeah, until it didn't.
Yeah, when it was ticking, it was still running its numbers. It was running what it usually runs. He made a couple of passes while it was ticking. It only tick at idle, and you rev it up, and the tick go away. So the intake is full of crap. I did not think that would be like that. Holy cow. We're going to have to get some brake cleaner or something. Spray down in there and blow some air through it and look in the carburetor and make sure nothing got in there. Carburetor is oily. But is there any piston material up in there? You'll have to open the butterflies. Boy, it's full. Well, that's gasoline coming out. So we're going to go ahead and stab the distributor. And the way I always do this, I mean, you can hold your finger over the hole until it blows out. Then you usually go past your mark. But on these rocker arms, see, exhaust. It's like a small block Chevy exhaust, intake, exhaust. Gen 1, Gen 2, small block Chevy. But the exhaust comes up, it closes, the intake comes up, and it closes. When it closes, the piston's at the bottom, and it's going to start coming up for the compression stroke on number 1. And once that intake valve closes, and you turn this back to 0, boom, and you're at true top dead center on cylinder 1. We're going to go ahead and stab the distributor and point it right at 1. The firing order and everything, I've never worked on these Pontiac motors, but look at that, 1-8-4-3-6-5-7-2. Same firing order. And they're 1, 3, 5, 7. That's what I'm told anyway. I've never worked on these, but I mean, but instead of the distributor spinning clockwise, like on a small block Chevy, Gen 1, Gen 2, it spins counterclockwise. So when you do your plugs, 1, 8, 4, 3, 6, 5, 7, 2, instead of clockwise like you would on a small block Chevy. So the intake is marked 1, 3, 5, 7. So it is just like a small block Chevy. It just goes backwards. 1, 8, 4, 3, 6,
So
5, 7, 2. Whereas small block Chevy goes 1, 8, 4, 3, 6, 5, 7, 2. But yeah. All right, we got the 350 going in. Trying to get her lined up and dropped in place. Get the headers and everything out of the way.
Marshall,
Yeah.
let it down just a
There.
hair.
All right, we got the motor stabbed up against the transmission, and Willis and Danny are under there putting the bottom bolt in the transmission bell housing, make sure it don't move, and then we can use the cherry picker to line up the motor mounts. Send the motor mounts through and start putting everything back together. I think we about killed TJ. He was in there. He was in here fighting the motor up and down. Are you still alive?
Barely.
It's 3 a.m. guys. We started about, I don't know, what, 9:45. And it's 3:15.
Pulled one out, put one back in. Come on.
So we're about 5 hours and 30 minutes. But I'll try
Out to Clay City Sunday.
going racing Sunday.
Going racing.
Sportsman foot brake for good pay, man.
No box.
And then no box, BT.
How about
Well, you gonna run both of them, ain't you?
Thought about it.
He's gonna run Sportsman and Modified. I think I'm gonna take the truck and run Sportsman. I don't know.
I bet he don't.
Willis, what are you gonna race?
He's shooting bears.
I'm hoping this.
He's probably thinking,
Probably not.
I don't want to blow another motor up.
You talking that shit had me up 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
And then you just poop out on me.
get Danny over here. We about got her licked. Once we get those 2 transmission bolts in, we can.
Yeah, in about a week we're gonna
know
need
how
some
close
help
the
putting
motor
Danny's
mount
rear
bolts
end in.
We didn't even have to jack it in. That motor mount bolt went right in. And it looks like this one over here is going to go right in too. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? Maybe. Did it go in? It went in, didn't it? What do you got for that? We just popped the pins on the motor to the transmission.
Go up a little bit.
Everything's still in place. Gotta go up a little? A little bit? Where's the deck handle? Oh, I stand corrected. We did have,
Don't drop nothing.
we did have to jack it just a little bit, I guess.
Oh.
The intake on it for now, just to put the motor in, because that's all I had. For us to attach it to the cherry picker was that carburetor plate. And man, that intake is heavy. Man, it's been a while since I've lifted a cast iron intake. Geez, that thing's heavy.
Yeah.
Got it? All right. All right, back at Willis's today. Whoa, I dropped it. Almost dropped it. What'd you get done, Willis? Willis already out here been working on it. Cleaned up the intake. As y'all saw yesterday, it was nasty. Full of chunks of piston and
I got the.
now I don't know how chunks of piston got in there. It must have busted an intake valve and sent it all back up through there. Or just when the intake valve's open, it come back. I don't know.
Got the transmission bolted up. Got the torque converter bolts, starter, gas line, intake. And I guess that's about it. Waiting on Marshall to come help me get them headers.
Yeah, someone's
That's what
gonna have
tell
to.
people.
Someone's gonna have to lift up on the back of them headers as someone else puts it on, and then
You want to go?
I'm gonna go under the car. But yeah, I'm gonna. I guess you gonna lubricate. You gonna use RTV on the header gaskets? You just gonna put them back on? You using the old ones? You got new ones? What's going
I
on
got
here?
new ones.
New ones,
Yeah, I'm gonna put a little bit around just around the ports.
flanges. All right. Well, we're gonna work on that next, and really, I guess all that's left is to hook up the carburetor and then put all the front on and the radiator, the fan, and the shroud. Really, not a whole lot left. We'll be driving it today, hopefully. Well, I think we got her buttoned up enough to start her. Let's see if it'll hit one time. It'll take a while to get gas up to the mechanical fuel pump problems.
Let's see, which way's the Pontiac roll?
Counterclockwise.
It turns counterclockwise?
Yeah.
Yeah, the rotor turns counterclockwise, so it's opposite of small block
I'll
Chevy.
bump it up a little, see that. I may have to move it. That's about as far as it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
You know, tooth off or move your plugs.
Oh, you're gonna transmission fluid.
Oh, God.
You forgot about that.
Ooh.
We forgot about that. We're gonna have to move the plug wires over one. We're off a tooth, but we'll just jump the plug wires one. But yeah, it's gonna run. All right, we moved the plug wires just one prong over. Adjust them. We're gonna have to adjust the lifters.
Try it again.
We're gonna have to adjust the lifters some. That got her pretty close, guys. But yeah, we thought some lifters over there, rock arms were loose, so we're gonna go through those. But yeah, it starts.
We adjusted like a Chevrolet. It adjusts like a Chevrolet.
Yeah, just like a Chevrolet. No up and down movement, quarter to a half turn on the push rod. We'll do that. It's definitely ticking over there, but it might run a little and go away, but we'll go through them anyway. And we took the 455 the rest of the way apart, and look, the piston just come apart. The rod's still attached and everything, and it put a huge hole in the block. And then this piston is spun. I don't know what happened over there. I don't know if I don't know, but on this one, the piston just disintegrated.
From the builder.
And then
Above the builder.
we got an oil leak. So we got to figure out where that's coming from. It pulled the wrist pin right out of these pistons. Both of them. Everything else in there is good. My LT1 that had these are forged pistons. My LT1 did the same thing. Why are those pins pulling out of these forged pistons? Why is that happening? Well, we about got her buttoned up. Alternators on, wires on, fan, shroud, radiator. We just got to fill the radiator up. Set the timing where it should be. And he's probably going to have to do some jet changes. This is just a stock Pontiac 350. And this is a 455 with a cam, so that carburetor was on the 455, so it's probably going to be jetted down some. Filled her up with water, going to oil and filter change. Fixed that oil leak we had. And then we had a water leak because we forgot that. And we had a thermostat leak. Had to go get a gasket. It has that rubber seal on the housing, but didn't work. Then we went and got the right bolts for the fan. It had the wrong bolts on it for some reason. I think we're about done, y'all. Fill her up with oil. About got her licked. Sounds good. You might need to add some more as it warms up. Yeah, I'd already sunk some down in there. Yeah. It sounds good, guys. Got a little lifter tick over here. So we're going to go back through these. But other than that, it needs time. It did backfire through the carburetor a little when we first tried to start it. But we'll put a timing light in, get it timed. And yeah. That should do it. Woo woo. The 73 Le Mans runs again. The stock 350, Pontiac 350. Alright, there you have it, guys. We went through and reset the valves, got the lifter tick out of there, and we put new nuts on the rocker arms. And we had to time it by ear because apparently the 50-year-old balancer spun, and the timing definitely wasn't right for the mark on the balancer. So we're going to put the 455 balancer on it and retime it, but we did get it timed by ear. And the carburetor needs adjusted. I guess that 750 vacuum secondary is just too big for that stock 350. The accelerator pump's shooting too much fuel in there, and if you rev it up slowly, it does just fine. But if you try to whop the throttle, it just falls on its face. So we're gonna have to do some adjustment there. But he was able to drive it around. It drove good and cruised around good. He even took it to the drag strip Sunday, but due to us having to need to adjust the carburetor, he wasn't able to race it. He's a truck driver, so he's gone all through the week and only can work on it on the weekends. So hopefully next weekend we'll get the carburetor dialed in and he can start racing that thing again. And I think he's gonna LS swap it eventually, but we'll see. But y'all have a great day.